And it kept coming. By the fourth time I threw it into the trees, and it still came. Fifth time I threw it in the cacti, and it came. Sixth time I was just wondering if anyone was going to hear me screaming for help.
Can you kind of walk me through what happened? What was it, yesterday?
It was Sunday.
Sunday. Can you kind of walk me through what happened
So
Sunday?
I got off of work, and I told myself I wanted to go hiking, so went to Purgatory Creek, as I usually do every week. Was hiking the usual trails I did, took a photo of the rock quarry with the little tunnel right beforehand, because I was like, that's what I've been wanting to see. I wanted to see the prairie cone flowers, I believe the flower's name is. Started hiking down, heard something in the brush, turned around. It was a fox walking, not running, not snarling, just walking towards me. Tried standing big, being like, hey, go away. Kept walking, turned around, and next thing I knew it was biting my ankle.
How did that feel? What was that feeling like?
Honestly, I didn't even feel it at first, because I was just almost like, what's going on? And once I realized, snapped out of it, I grabbed it with my hand and threw it. Then it came at me again, and then I threw it on the ground, and then it ran off for a second. Then I was running, getting rocks and everything in my hands. Came at me again, and that's when it started. That's when I grabbed it from its neck again. It bit my fingers, bit my hands. And it kept coming. By the fourth time I threw it into the trees, and it still came. Fifth time I threw it in the cacti, and it came. Sixth time I was just wondering if anyone was going to hear me screaming for help. So, yeah, then it finally walked off, and I went running, not knowing if anyone was going to hear me. I didn't have my phone because I threw it at the fox, thinking it was a rock. So, yeah.
What was going through your head? What were your feelings like during this attack?
I was just thinking I just needed to get out of there and needed to get help. That was my brain theory of okay, this thing's attacking me and it keeps coming, I need to fight back. If it's gonna keep fighting me, I need to fight it back or something's gonna happen.
It sounds like your fight or flight instincts really kicked in. Glad to hear you chose fight in that case.
Yeah. I mean, I tried running, did not work, so.
So was it just you out here?
It was me by myself. I usually go hiking by myself, as many other people in San Marcos, as many people do at Purgatory Creek. So it was me by myself, just doing what I usually do. And
have you heard, has this happened to a couple other people since?
It happened, I know, it's funny because I ran screaming for help, and I ran to family. I asked them to call 911. They said, there's already an ambulance in the parking lot for you. And I was like, what do you mean? They said, didn't you get attacked by a coyote? And I was like, I haven't talked to anyone. So right before me, someone got attacked, and I heard a few people got attacked after me. But it's never really happened from what I know in Purgatory. I mean, I've been coming here for 3 years.
And this isn't normal? You've never run into any kind of wildlife that would...
I'm an outdoor recreation major. I've hiked parts of the Appalachian Trails. I've hiked in Idaho. I've hiked in many areas of Texas, Georgia, you name it. I've hiked it probably around that area. So, this was abnormal. For such an area close to, where I live, I was just kind of like, wow.
Does this concern you or worry you to go hiking again? Does this kind of deter you from doing something that you enjoy doing often?
I would say no. Main reason, I'm an outdoor recreation major at Texas State, so my main focus is getting people outdoors and recreating. I hope to work with parks, hope to work with education. I already work partially with educating kids on wildlife, nature, and other things. So I don't think it's gonna
have a positive feeling about this.
If the animal is sick, it's not really the animal's fault, it's the sickness. You have to kind of learn about that. And I might not hike here for a bit because I kind of can't, but
fair.
But yeah, and everyone's been like, oh, it must have taken a chunk out of you. No, it's just deep puncture wounds. That's what the fox bites do.
Yeah. Did you get tested for rabies sicknesses from it?
I just got rabies shots. Multiple, a lot, but I wasn't tested for rabies. I do not know. I just know there was 3 in this arm, 2 in this arm, and a lot on my leg.
Okay, rabies. So did they come back with anything in a test or?
They didn't test anything at the hospital. I don't think they really could. And they haven't found the fox. And if it was rabies, the fox is most likely dead by now. So.
How were you feeling a couple days later?
Yesterday, I was in a lot of pain. The adrenaline finally went away, and I'm hoping I don't need to walk with a crutch tomorrow. But it's just I can't put my whole weight on without a pain coming through, and it's still bleeding. So certain areas, how deep the punctures are still bleeding because they're not allowed to sew it up, because if you do, you get bacteria and everything trapped in it.
Right. Is there anything you would advise people who want to come hike this trail just kind of for the time being? Or
just no, this is not really your home. Yes, you live in San Marcos, but it's still nature. Animals are still wild. And even though a lot of people on Facebook are saying, oh, you had to been feeding it, you had to be petting it, you had to been wanting it. That's not always the case. So like assuming those things and not being there really hurts a lot of people who actually experienced it, because like you can't speak for it. So like don't speak on others' behalfs of pain. Like it's not cool.
Michelle, is there anything I didn't ask you want to mention about this experience?
Not that I can think of. I mean, it's a great place. I recommend hiking. It's just make sure you know what times of day to hike also. Because even though the sun was out, it still can be dangerous.
Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and get the latest news by downloading the CBS Austin News app.